to the Ben Chartoff Show, where we try to help others with their problems. Today's special guest is the former king of Thebes, Oedipus.
Hello, and thanks a lot for having me. These past 5 to 10 years in Corinth have been tough.
Now, why were you in Corinth, your childhood home?
After the truth came out in Thebes about the crimes I committed, I was exiled respectively. The only other place I knew about was my childhood city of Corinth, where I reunited with my surrogate mother, Merove.
About how long have you been in Corinth?
10 years ago on this day, I finally stumbled my way to Corinth, thanks to my 2 servants. I've lived around this area on and off over the past decade, dreaming of a second chance.
How do you feel about what went down in Thebes?
Although I was fated by the oracle of the gods, I still take fault in my actions.
What specifically are those actions?
Well, I killed my father and slept with my mother, all on accident, of course. To be specific, my true father was Elias, who I encountered on the crossroads between Corinth and Thebes. I killed him due to my anger that built up when we encountered. To make a long story short, I entered Thebes, solved the riddle of the Sphinx, and became king, where I unknowingly reunited with my biological mother, Jocasta. At this point, things went downhill.
Details?
Well, I began to sleep with my biological mother, and the truth came out about my crimes, eventually leading me to the chair I sit in now, full of guilt and regret.
From what I get, you take full blame on these crimes?
Yes, of course. The easy way out would be to blame all my actions on the gods. However, that would be irresponsible and naive. I take full responsibility for my actions.
Would you like to have a chance to apologize to the people of Thebes?
Yes, today I want to give a formal apology to the people of Thebes and to my deceased family. I drove my mother and my wife into an emotional state in which we decided to harm her own life. It haunts me to this day to think that I caused that death, and the death of my very own father. Even though I didn't know he was in relation to me, I spilled my father's blood, and there is no taking that back.
Wow, it's very intense. Do you think the people of Thebes can sympathize?
I would like to say that they could. However, I doubt they do at this point. I'm sure I was quickly replaced after my exile. They probably regretted having me as their leader in the first place.
I see. How did you make your exile from Thebes to Corinth?
Well, I was fortunate enough to be granted 2 servants to help me find my way to Corinth.
I'm guessing you needed those servants due to the fact that you're missing both of your eyes.
Yes, my peers took pity and granted me these 2 servants. I immediately fled the city and began my trek to Corinth.
Was the journey tough?
Yes, physically and emotionally. The journey lasted about 2 weeks. We traveled lightly and on foot. It was hard for me to focus on the directions that my servants guided me because the whole time I was emotionally worn. This caused me to reminisce on the past in Thebes. All I could think about were my regrets.
Did you make it to Corinth safely?
Personally, yes. However, one of my servants fell off a cliff directly into the jaws of a hungry giant giraffe, exploding upon impact. Needless to say, he died. He did live a valiant life, however. I arrived at Corinth only with a few scratches and bruises where the community took me in and cared for me.
What is your role at Corinth now?
Today, I'm only a normal townsperson, roaming the streets blindly. I love my life now, though. It is very simple and relaxing.
Would you trade your new, simple life for the old life in Thebes?
I think about that often. However, I always come back to the same answer, and that is no. The stress and emotional pain I went through in the past few weeks as king is something I never want to experience again. This simple life with my mother has been some of the best years of my life.
So it sounds like you're happy. Is this true?
Happy is a word that cannot describe my current life. Yes, lately I've been in happy moods, but overall I cannot be happy because of what happened in Thebes. Nothing will ever make me happy again.
That's a very gut-wrenching story you have offered us today. Have you started a new family in Corinth, or do you have a new occupation to sustain yourself?
No, I have not started a new family. I enjoy a life alone with just my thoughts and myself. However, I do have a new job. I teach young children at a small school located only a few blocks away from home, and I enjoy every minute of it.
Well, we are glad to hear you are back on track with your life. Looks like we're out of time, Oedipus. Do you have any last words to offer to the crowd and the viewers at home?
Besides my apology, I would like to wish the best of luck to Thebes as a community. Although it was short-lived, What you offered me in your community was something special. It was an unforgettable experience. I'd like to offer my final goodbye. Can't wait to see my family again in another life, and thank you, Dr. Chartoff.
No problem. We're happy to have you. Goodbye, everyone.